business, anything from who do you hire, how much do you pay them, and how long are they going to stay for the business. But the biggest one will have to be when you start doubting yourself, when you start doubting the vision, and when you start doubting the culture of your team. Those are probably the biggest doubt moments that I've had. You sit down and you think about it, and you start getting these ones in here. So it's when you start doubting yourself, but then that's when your coaches come on board, and that's when you gotta get it out of your system. Because the reality is that in our journey as business owners, it's a very lonely journey. No one really understands, right?
Preach.
Yes. So you gotta find and surround yourself by people that is equal and above you from a point of view of success, so that they can tell you this is the journey and this is how we deal with that. That has certainly helped me, and same as Francesca, I probably have 6 different coaches myself, because that's what keeps you moving, that's what re-energizes you.
And so that moment, so tell me a little bit more about that. So you were doubting what? About the team, if it was the right team? What was the doubt?
Well, as you grow your businesses, different challenges come across. Whether if it is money challenges, so you start needing to get some funding, or if it is process and procedures, or if it is the product itself. Competitors come at you left, right, and center, and you can't stay still. You need to continue adding value, and you need to create a better product that is different than the rest. So when you start doubting, am I great enough to do this? Do I have the skills, and does my team have the skills? And have I done enough for the team? Have I done enough for even myself? And it's about finding those answers, and it's very hard to find them within yourself, at least if you are a great reader and you read like maybe 20 to 30 books a year. Probably that would be a non-expensive way to develop our learning. So other ways, and then pay coaches, which they should be very expensive because they help you in those moments when you want to get down. Something I learned this week was the moment that you quit, that's the life that you're accept. That's your top. But if you push through that, it means that you're still going through that, whatever that is. We have a 15-year plan in our businesses. We're on year 6 and 7, so it's about keep looking at that vision. If I stop at year 5 or year 6, that's it. And whatever life is there at that moment, potentially that could be top. So when those moments come in that we're like, we're gonna keep looking at the vision. It's just one step, it's one more opportunity, and it's another journey. It's another learning during the journey.
I love it. Give it up. Amazing. And I think that, so I was just going to say, I remember that day we were at Business Mastery. We hired it was 3 years ago? 3 years ago? It was 3 years ago. We hired Airbnb, by the way, very beautiful Airbnb. So it was very hard to wake up early and not enjoy the pool and everything else. But we did it. It was a group of us. And I remember they were sharing where they were business at, which was about more than half of what it is now, right? And I remember their goals, and I was sitting there going, you guys are dreaming big. Because my goal was having a family. So I was like, I don't want to have a huge business. I just want to, get to my 2 meals. I'll be okay there. But you see the difference between having like the different goals, right? My goal was to stay steady because I wanted something else in my life, which is always okay. And for them, it was like, we wanted to get there. And I am so proud of you guys because they killed it. Like, they just went for it. And all of a sudden, like, no, it was like, for us from the outside, it's like, oh, look at that. It was so easy. Now, they already more than doubled. But for them, obviously, like, they are really hard workers and they make it happen. So I just wanted to show you, like, from, perspective of knowing them personally, the difference with, like, when you have a goal, when he talks about he's got a spreadsheet for everything, Nando, and he's got a spreadsheet for this 15 years ago, and they follow it, and then have meetings, and they talk about it, and that is what you want to have in business. If you want to have a goal, if you want to reach it, you create a spreadsheet. That's the solution. He's got a spreadsheet for camping. They give May and Freddie a vote if they're going to come back camping with us or not. I'm just kidding. But not a joke, they've got a spreadsheet for camping. Of like voting how the camping site was. Anyway, true story. Thank you, sir. You can ask him in the break. See, I know if he's camping.
Okay, so my biggest fail moment was probably a couple of years ago now. But that was when I realised that we were employing all of these people, but I wasn't believing in them. I wasn't believing that they were capable and to do what I needed them to do. So that came with a huge, for me. But letting go. Obviously, we're in a very creative field, and my responsibility is to direct and guide and nurture their creativity for the brand. But I wasn't letting them do what I had hired them to do. I had a whole heap of responsibilities that I put on my own shoulders, trying to train them and trying to, do these things, but not accepting that they were extremely competent and capable to be able to take those tasks and develop themselves into, fortunate to say, like a lot of them, to the skills and the professionals that they are today.
Wow, that's awesome. Give it up. Boom. Give it up. Boom over there. And that's massive, right? Because when you have team members and you realize that we are not giving them a chance, it's you. So how did you make the shift? What did you do? Did you actually fire them to change people, or was it actually you? Or what?
Well, I guess you realise both things. You realise, firstly, the people that do have it and that do rise to, when you give responsibility, when you stop taking things away from people, your A players will perform because they want to. They're capable of it, and you just need to let them do the stuff. I think, especially as owners, you try, when you start to employ people, and it's something that you kind of just learn as you go as well, that you think, they're working too much, or that's too much responsibility for them, and you worry about protecting them from the things. But they don't need protecting, they don't want protecting. That's what they're great at, and that's what you employ them to be great at and learn and do. So it was identifying those, and then the ones that maybe that was too much, have the conversations, or they will choose to move on. And that's usually for the better for both sides.
I love it. Give that one more time for Sarah, the beautiful. Okay, boom over here. I love it. Okay, one question. I will again over here. Elena, Mike run. Who is the next person after this? Okay, over here. We've got one more question over here. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh,
Hello?
is it on? Hello? Yes.
Thank you so much. I was actually wanting to ask a similar question from all the panelists, and Francesca, from you as well. Particularly in businesses that provide services, people are the key to have the right people, and that's why we're talking about. If I am the business and I'm providing service, I can't grow, so I need to make sure I have the right team. How did you deal with that? How to find the right people who are not just coming for a paycheck, but who really believe in it and become a part of it and become its face so that you can trust? What is your journey with hiring, and what is your journey with growing those staff?
Beautiful question. Who wants to start?
So hands up those of you in the room who are speakers. Okay. So starting this business all these years ago, a business partner named Dale Beaumont, some of you might have heard of him, and we were the talent. We were the face of the business. We didn't want to brand the business Dale Beaumont, Brent Williams was Empower You, but we're mindful with the talent. And it took some time. There's a few people that I started to train, but they were never really committed. Then I met somebody I thought was super talented, spent 3 years, invested heavily in him, and then he stole the whole thing. And that was like devastating for me. Like felt every kind of emotion you could imagine, and felt sorry for myself. And spent some time going, well, my wife was right, it's just got to be me, and that's it. And then I, took dare I say, a couple of years it was to get over that and let it go and realise it just wasn't the right person. And so I then put it out there again, and I now have 5 people that can do exactly what I can, and they got on stage. And the big part of it is letting go of ego, realising that when I was listening to them on stage going, they're not doing it how I would do it, but everyone was cheering anyway. Just because it's not my way doesn't mean it's the wrong way. And that what they lacked in experience, they made up for in their age. That was the sexiness, is that when I started this, I was 19, I was the same age as my audience. Now I'm a little bit older, a little bit wiser, and that's the uniqueness. But to expand on that, I think that why I'm holding them and they're in the vision, is they're buying into the vision, and they can see that the balancing act is giving them enough that they feel good and it works out for you as well. So I know that while I'm putting all of my IP into them, the risk is they could leave. And so it's about how do I create enough value that they'll never want to leave.
Love it.
And that's the challenge that I face, but I'm very mindful of that.
Got some booms. Amazing. Thank you. Look how many booms. I love it. Nando.
From my perspective, I think that we're guilty of hiring the incorrect people for our brands and our business. The first step is we need to understand extremely clear what do we want that person to do. So if you ask any of our team members today, the job descriptions is around, the minimum is about 15 pages and it goes to around 25 pages because it's extremely detailed from what do they do on a daily basis, what are the KPIs, what are their authority level, what can they decide on. Once we have that clear, then you can start searching for the right fit. And then you will probably get it wrong. Certainly we have got it wrong several times, but you have 3 months to understand if they're the right person. And if they're not, you need to shake hands and walk away. They're beautiful, amazing people. They're just not the right fit for your company. So job description extremely long. Invest time on that. ChatGPT will help you with that. And then recruit the person that you believe is the right fit. And you have 3 months to keep it or not.
Oh, we got some booms. I love it. Thank you, Nando.
Yeah, a combination of both answers, I guess, from here. But big on, I was reflecting before about your bottlenecks and risk in business, the risks that we take, in all parts of business. And I think that investing your time and your energy in people is one of those ones that is huge, because at any time, that can happen. But what you risk then if you don't let that go and invest in those people and trust that that is just going to happen, that you work through it either way, that is a huge risk, and one that is, I think, constantly, as you grow through those different levels, it just keeps popping up. So it's a risk of what we deal with as business owners, and the more that we can have clarity and be comfortable with that as a risk, then the better that we are able to equip ourselves to deal with it.
I love it. Sarah. And if you were briefly asking about me as well, I'll just tell you very briefly. For me, it was my problem, not them. So it was not that it was the right person. They needed to have me believing in them. So the first time, boom, yay! The first time that I did it was many years ago, and I got a salesperson to come traveling with me in my national tours, and she was terrified of doing the sales call because everybody wanted to talk to Francesca. And so I'm going to be 1,000,000% honest here. I didn't believe that she was going to do the job. I thought she was going to fail big time, but I knew that she needed my trust. So on stage, in front of everybody, I just pushed, I literally said, she is amazing, she's even better than me, she can actually explain this and that because she's got this perspective. And as I made it up, I actually go, this probably is true. Literally, I was not even kidding. I just made it up, and then I went, actually, it's probably true. And I see her, her face light up, and she's like, she believes in me. That's all she needed to hear. And I'm not even kidding you, it was even better than what I explained it. And after that, people wanted to book with her, not with me, because I'm a deep personality, and I'm like, just shut up your limiting belief and just sign up. And instead, she was nurturing, and she was like, oh my gosh, yes, I get it. She actually was resonating with them more than me, because I was like, stop it, you're just in front of yourself, get out of your way. So there was not nurturing, right? So I started to highlight that from there on, and now is the truth with Lina. When people want to buy from us, want to have a conversation, I generally believe, now is 1,000,000% true, that Lina knows more. She knows the VAs, she knows our supervisors, she knows the clients, she knows the platform that we use. I'm not in the business day to day, so it's better to talk to Lina than talk to me, because I would just tell you the same, just trust us, we'll get it up. But that's all I say, because that's all I have. So we have time for one more question, team? One more question? Do you guys want one more question? Yeah. Okay, we had your hand up. Yes. Now we have lots of people. I'm sorry, guys, but we have only one spot over here. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you very much. I just have a question about the part where you are stepping out of the business and relying on your team to do it more. How do you remove the guilt that you spoke about? Because I feel bad. I'm expecting them to do 40 hours a week, but I only want to do 10.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start with that, because I have faced that a lot. A bit of a structure in our business, we're in a position that now we have middle management, so we have 6 managers that run a lot of other team members. The guilt, and Francesca was talking about, you can't feel guilty because they want to do that. That's really what they're passionate about. If you find the right people that are marketers, salespeople, interior designers, physical people that wants to move and be on active, they will perform because they want to. And you will identify the A team members and the A players in your business will get it done. They get to a point that we are the bottleneck and we actually need to get out of the way. I'm currently working on getting out of the office. That's what I'm at the moment. Because if I'm in the office, I become an option for a question. So if the more that you get out of the way, the more capable they're going to be. And if those team members are the right fit for your business, you will know. You will know, and they will manage the time. They will know when they're exhausted, and hopefully you get an opportunity to send them away, or that's better to tell them to go away, to give them a gift because they are doing fantastic. That is recognizing the wins, but the high performance team members, they will do it because they know in their heart, like you know, for your clients, that is the right thing to do. And if you got the back for the future and they know that, they will have your back no matter what. They won't think of you as a person who only work 10, 20, 15 hours. They will think of you as someone who's empowered them to follow the dreams, the careers, the goals. And if we are capable to do that as employers, and certainly as CEOs and directors, that's our job. To ensure that our managers have a future, that if they want to be the directors of the business, well, how do we get them to be there? If they want to be whatever, we need to know. It's our obligation. Certainly I take it as an obligation where my leaders wants to go. Because and then I can equip them, support them, train them, and create that path. And they will be grateful for that.
Love it. Give it up for Nando! Because this is our time. Yeah, thank you.
Hands up who's got a teenager. Okay, so make sure I speak to you over these next few days. I've got something for you that you'll be very grateful for. But in starting my business, I wanted to lead from the front and I wanted to show up before everyone and I wanted to lead after everyone because people model your actions, not your words. And so I wanted to be the example, and that was very important for me. And then guilt set in because you can only do so much, and I want to pay back. I had a big breakthrough about a year ago where a friend and mentor of mine came up with a word, it's a made-up word, but it's deservability. And I realised there was a lot of unworthiness in me. And that was showing up in me feeling this obligation to just constantly work to show up. And then I had to recognise, I deserve this, I've earned this. So it's a little bit of a contrast to what you're sharing, and I validate everything you shared, absolutely. But it's okay to, lean into that. But also, in the same breath, I'm a big advocate in words of affirmation. That's my love language. So I'm really mindful of showing gratitude, appreciation, and validation, because you can pay people one of two ways: cash money or validation and gratitude. And as long as you acknowledge, honour, and let people know they feel loved, then they're going to do more than asked of them.
Nicely said, Brent Williams.
About 10 seconds, combination of both again. But you show up better for them in your hours, and we need that time. So recognizing that you need that's your 10 hours or whatever hours you choose to show up for your team, but having just those hours, you're able to show up 110% and give them what you need to give them in that time.
I love it. I'm doing that one. Boom! That was amazing.
Amazing panel at the Level Up
Okay,
by
amazing.
Francesca Moi.